All right, so every once in a while, you're scrolling online and something just stops you, right? A weird phrase, a question that makes no sense. It's like a little mystery just dropped in your lap. Well, this is one of those moments. And this is how it first showed up. Just a bunch of jumbled up characters. Seriously, it looks like a file that didn't load right, or maybe like some old forgotten video game password. But believe it or not, this digital ghost is the key that unlocks a really fascinating thought experiment, one that takes us right into the heart of fan culture. So once you decode it, this is what you get. Calculate how much the name Zenin Sume of 1 crown is worth. I mean, wow, it's so specific, but also kind of bizarre, right? It feels like a question you can't possibly answer. So how in the world do you even start to tackle something like this? Okay, so right off the bat, let's be super clear. We're not actually going to come up with a dollar amount. That's not the point. The real mission here is to deconstruct this whole thought experiment. We're going to peel back the layers and figure out why someone would even ask this and what it tells us about the amazing world of fandom.
All right, first things first. Let's break this question down into its pieces. And the biggest piece, the name right in the middle of it all, is Xenian Somei. So, who is that? Or what is that?
Okay, so here's where it gets really interesting, especially if you're a Jujutsu Kaisen fan. The first part, Zenin, you know that name. It's a big deal in the series. But Sume, that's the curveball. That name is nowhere to be found in the official story. It's not in the manga, not in the anime. This character is completely made up by fans. And to really get why that Zenin name is so heavy, you gotta understand the Zenin clan. They are one of the big 3 sorcerer families in the JJK world. We're talking immense power, tons of prestige, but also these super rigid, almost suffocating traditions. So think about it. When a fan decides to create a character and just makes them a Zenin, that's a massive deal. It's like giving them an instant backstory that's just packed with status, power, and a whole lot of drama. All right, so that's the name. Now let's look at the second part of this puzzle. This thing they're calling the 1 crown achievement. So what is that all about? And here's the kicker. Just like the name Somei, this 1 crown is not official. It's not canon. You can search every page of the manga, every frame of the anime. You won't find it. It's a title the fans invented for, well, for some kind of epic, monumental, once-in-a-lifetime achievement. It's totally hypothetical, but when you see it pop up in fan forums, you know it means something huge. So this brings us full circle, right back to the original problem. We've got a fan-made character from a super powerful family in the story who's pulled off some incredible fan-made achievement. How in the world do you slap a price tag on any of that? Well, the simple answer is you can't. At least not in any way that makes real-world sense. And that's the whole point. The question isn't meant to be answered. It's the trying to answer it that's so cool. That's where all the imagination and fun happens. It's all about the journey, not the destination. And, you know, that journey is actually pretty amazing to watch. When fans get together to figure this stuff out, they get surprisingly serious about it. First, they'll try to find a baseline, compare it to something we can understand, like a real-world megaproject, or maybe they'll dig into the economics of the JJK world itself. Next, they try to actually quantify the impact, like what did this achievement do to their world? And the final step, the really tricky one, is accounting for all the stuff you can't put a number on, like prestige, legacy, and what it all means. It's this incredible mix of hardcore logic and wild creativity. So, you gotta ask, why? Why bother? Why spend all this energy trying to calculate something that's literally impossible to calculate? What's the real point of a puzzle like this? It's because the value isn't in the answer at all. It's in the question. Thinking about stuff like this lets you dive so much deeper into a world you love. It kicks off these awesome creative debates that really bring the fan community together. Honestly, it's like everyone is building a little piece of the world together, adding their own ideas to the story. At the end of the day, it's just a really fun, really creative way to play in a world that means a lot to you. When you get down to it, this desire to explore the blank spots on the map of a story, that's just a really powerful way to be creative. And it kind of leaves me with one last question, but this one's for you. If you could put a price on any fictional object or achievement, what would it be? Like a lightsaber, or maybe the Iron Throne? Because as we've just figured out, the price doesn't matter. What matters is the conversation you start when you ask the question.